Welcome back into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey with day 2 of the NFL Draft here. We're going to run through some potential targets, some round 2 and round 3 mock drafts for the Dallas Cowboys today. First up, the reminder of what the Cowboys have coming up in terms of their draft selections. Tyler Smith, the round 1 pick, round 2, round 3, round 4, bunch of round 5. So we are focused in today on the day 2 picks, 56th overall and 88th overall, barring a maybe possible trade up. With the selection of Tyler Smith, who I think starts at left guard for you, is your long-term left tackle. Hopefully, your top draft needs are this: wide receiver, edge, center, tight end, linebacker. You can mix in safety, cornerback in there as well, but receiver is the one that jumps out to me. Now, if you, like me, are hyped and ready for day 2 of the NFL Draft, I woke up this morning with a good feeling about the Cowboys' chances for the second round here. Like the video for me. Right now, Jack, stop the negativity. Like the video if you are excited about day 2 of the NFL Draft. Now, I do want to begin today's show by exploring trade-up scenarios because I'm looking at a bunch of good defensive players I have on my board who I hope are on the Cowboys' board and a lot of good receivers. And I think in the 40s, there's going to be a run on those receivers. So if you want to secure your top guy, this is the trade to get to number 40. This is the value which they've done in the past, by the way. Similar trade ups. Second and third gets you to 40. Maybe that's too rich for you. And I understand because I'm a big fan of having multiple picks because I want multiple shots at what is a crapshoot in the end. If you want to keep your third, you can get to 48. By giving up your 4th round pick. And maybe the cost to move up is still cheaper than what it normally is, but that's the rough value there. So whether it's Nakobe Dean or whoever, which we'll get to in a little bit in terms of some best available guys who could be trade-up targets for you, would you trade up in the second round? Y for yes or N for no? Would you wheel and deal your way up earlier? Y for yes, N for no. I'm going to go ahead and make this the pinned comment on today's video. Would you trade up? Sound off in the comment section. The ad break comes on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Consider my best available some of your trade-up targets. Nakobe Dean, who I think has I think his knee was red flagged medically, but if that checks out for you and you can get him, that is a steal, even if you move up to go acquire him. I don't want to take Breece Hall. Roger McCree doesn't fit their style. The arm length is not great, so I'd love it. Not going to get my hopes up there. Andrew Booth does fit their arm length style. I think there's also some medical speed concerns there, but if we're worried about Kelvin Joseph, he'd be a great pick. Skyy Moore, I would love to go get him. Now, I think you got to move up for him, but I'd be all for it. If you don't have to, it's even better. Jalen Pitre is a fun safety option, by the way. Kenneth Walker, I would be on board, or I would not be on board for because it's running back. Arnold Ebiketie is my best available edge over Sam Williams. I would have interest on that front. Now, let's get into our mock draft here. Some notable players who went off the board before you could take them. Early run on Travis Jones, Andrew Booth, Nakobe Dean, Christian Watson, Alec Pierce. A not that heavy run on wide receivers, which would be ideal for the Cowboys, but edges and Arnold Ebiketie off the board, Drake Jackson, and Trey McBride, who I wouldn't mind in round 2 at all for the Cowboys. So some notable players who are left. Boye Mafe is there. John Mechie, Jalen Tolbert are all there. Logan Hall, who I wouldn't mind in the second round either, although he's a weird tweener for me. Sam Williams and Skyy Moore, I will make note, were our projected picks in our final 7-round mock draft because the Sims were all broken, although who saw Cole Strange going in round 1? Nobody. So I'm not going to pick those guys today because we did that on a previous video. You can go watch that and also make sure you are subscribed because we will be live. The plan is for the Cowboys' second round pick. Maybe if it's a trade up, maybe not, but we will be live for it, breaking it down. We'll have more videos for you guys, consistent draft coverage right here on the Cowboys Report. So if you haven't already, subscribe. YouTube.com/CowboysTV for the best free Cowboys draft coverage you'll find out there. In this particular sim I ran this morning, George Pickens was there. Let's ride, baby. If I get Pickens and in the second round, I will be feeling immensely better about the Cowboys draft. I think he goes in the early 40s, but if he doesn't, I'm jumping all over this particular pick. Pickens is a bit of a wild card. There are valid concerns about his attitude in the sense that he tends to find himself in fights, which not everybody is a huge fan of, which I understand there. He's coming off an injury as well. When he was out there, despite, let's be honest, not good quarterback play, he was very productive for Georgia. 4.47 40-yard dash at 6'3", almost 200 pounds. Maybe the biggest trash talker in this year's draft. Kind of got to dial it back a little bit. Couple incidents of him getting in trouble, starting fights with a teammate at one point. Like, that's all issues he's got to figure out there. Not an elite separator. Didn't play that much because of the injury. I got a second-round grade on him, though. He is one of my best receivers on the board. He's 40th overall for me. Would be a round 2 steal if you could get him. And frankly, I think he's maybe a day 1 starter for you. Now, you got to figure out how you handle your slot receiver. You probably put CeeDee Lamb maybe more in there, which I'm fine with. But that's how you slot that all together. But a trio of Pickens, Lamb, and Gallup, that's fun at wide receiver. Is he there? I don't know. Then again, I didn't think Cole Strange was going to go round 1. So wild stuff ends up happening, folks. Who do you want to draft in the second round this year? Sound off for me in the comments section. You can give me multiple names if you want, but I want to hear from you. Who do you want to take for the next pick with the Dallas Cowboys? We'll break down every single pick as it happens live on Chat Sports. I'll be live over there before we start our Cowboys coverage. So if you want to know, before the major networks, we were, I think, 2 picks ahead at some point. It's ridiculous to me. We're tipping picks. We're getting it in early. So go subscribe, and there's no, like, we're going to cut away from commercial. Nah, I'm not going to do that crap. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. I'll have that link in the comment section and the description for you guys. We'll be live for the entirety of day 2, second and third round picks, including your Dallas Cowboys. Let's go to the third round. Now, some notable players off the board who I think are worth monitoring. Nick Bonito, also a good one there. Jalen Tolbert. If you can get Tolbert in the third, I don't know who's going to slide there. I'd be on board with that one. Same with guys like Leo Chenal and Bonito. Martin Emerson also fits their typical mold at corner. Some other targets to watch out for. 2 tight ends, Greg Dulcich and Jelani Woods were there. I would not be mad at either player being the pick in the third round. We mentioned Sam Williams earlier. Kirby Joseph out of Illinois, who I think Dan Quinn would love, and I would love that pick in the third round. One of my guys, Dominique Robinson, if you want to go edge. I love the upside for Robinson, and that is not me being a Miami of Ohio bias person. I think there's great talent there. Brian Asamoah, if you Oklahoma fans are excited about that one, he was there. Again, I mentioned we did Sam Williams the other day. I'm not going to do that same pick again because that's boring. Let's go Channing Tindall this time around. And if you want another linebacker to pair with Micah Parsons and Jabril Cox and let Parsons be your hybrid edge, I'm very intrigued by Tindall, who is not quite developed all the way yet, but you're in the third round. You're not going to get a fully developed player who has the immense upside that Tindall has. Speed is the name of his game, and who doesn't love having some speed after all? He can blitz, he can defend a run. He does need time to develop as a coverage player. That is not there at this point. He didn't start a game at Georgia in large part because, well, they were loaded at linebacker. You saw Quay Walker go off the board over Nakobe Dean earlier. I think if he hits, Ryan Shazier comp is what you're thinking at this point here. So Cox and Tindall, and I think Tindall is just big enough to hold up as a middle linebacker to pair with Jabril Cox as your weak side linebacker. I think that takes care of your linebacking core long term, buys you time. Van Der Esch can still play. You bring Tindall along. By the end of the year, he's a key player for you, I would hope. Awesome athlete. We mentioned George Pickens, 4.47 40. That's what Tindall ran at 230. That's the level of speed we're talking about for a big linebacker here. So I would be hyped if you took both Georgia guys. If you take Georgia players today, I think you did a good thing unless it's Darian Kendrick. That's the only guy you can't take out of Georgia. Before we go, the final question of the day, and I want honest answers here, my friends. What is your confidence level right now in the Dallas Cowboys? Are you down bad or are you feeling good? Scale it 1 to 100 in the comments section.